Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another early morning book review. And it's an early morning book review this Sunday because I'm not even dressed yet. I did put on some lipstick so that I don't look that horrible. And I've got this new light, but I'm not using it right now because everybody's asleep and I don't want to, haul out the extension cord and risk waking everybody up while I'm doing this. So I'm just going to have to be a little dark. But I'm going to film another video later on this afternoon in which I will use my light. We'll talk about an upcoming read, which is a vintage, but is it? Stay tuned for that one. Okay, so our review this morning is Judy Bolton, Ghost Parade. This one, I gave it 4 stars partially because I just love Judy, but I did think the story was pretty interesting in this one. So in this one, she is going to go to camp with a bunch of other girls, and she doesn't want to go because exciting things are happening in her hometown, and her brother Horace, who works for the newspaper, is kind of teasing her with saying that, oh, there's these counterfeit bills, and I'll be researching this, and I'll be working on that, and you'll be at camp with all the girls, and you won't have any fun. And so she's a little teased about going to camp, but she goes to camp. She goes to camp with all these girls. And they meet this woman along the way who they call the Cat Woman. I don't think she actually has a name. They just call her the Cat Woman because she says that she can cure cats and dogs. Now, it's going to get a little dark here for a second. She says that she can cure cats and dogs and can, restore them if they're injured, like a vet, like a non-licensed vet. Well, where they meet her is as they're driving to camp, they stop at an auction just on the side of the road, and they buy these 6, Judy does, for $5. She buys 6 wooden Indian masks. Yes, they go over your head, and they've got horns, and they're scary looking, and everything like that. Now, why? I don't think Judy's even sure why. She even mentions that she's not sure why, but she buys these masks, and the Catwoman tells her that they're jinxed and that bad things will happen. Oh, Judy also has her cats with her going to camp, which I can't imagine going to a summer camp with my cats, but whatever. She has to take them because her parents are in Europe helping out with an epidemic, as you do. You're just sitting at home and they call you up. Hello, Dr. Bolton, we need help with an epidemic. And he and his wife just fly off in order to help with the epidemic. And I don't know why Horace couldn't watch the cats, but I guess that didn't work out. But anyway, so she's got her cats with her. So they go to the summer camp. They've got the jinxed masks. I have to articulate that well. And bad things start happening. The first things that happen is the cats go crazy. They're out kind of wandering around and everything like that, and they go crazy. And they jump up onto Lorraine, who is like the prettiest girl. She's the prettiest girl of all and everything like that. And they scratch her across the face, which is, of course, a big deal to Lorraine. It'd be a big deal to anyone. I'm not criticizing Lorraine. It'd be a big deal to anyone. But the cats are clearly acting very sick, and they're twitching, and they're whining, and everything like that. And so they take the cats to the Catwoman, and the Catwoman makes them vomit, and then gives them a drink of charcoal, like mixed with milk, and hey, they're all fine. They're all good. So in the meantime, the masks themselves that are being kept in a big cardboard box in the boathouse are appearing and disappearing, and like you can kind of see them through the woods moving around and everything like that. And people are like, oh no, the ghosts are on parade, the ghosts are on parade. That's why it's called the Ghost Parade. The ghosts are on parade, but Judy is like, no. And that's one of the reasons I love about Judy. She's like, stop being superstitious, stop being an idiot. They're not ghosts on parade. There's some obvious explanation for this. And then, of course, we have Arthur, who is 16-year-old and has recently gotten his own plane. And he is kind of sort of interested in Lorraine, but of course Lorraine is just devastated now because she has this scar on her face from the cats. Miss Dimwittle, who is the camp counselor, she gets sick next. And then what they do for Miss Dimwittle is they take this feather, hand to God, they take this feather and they stick it down her throat and they make her vomit. And then they feed her soapy water. And then they feed her milk with charcoal, which apparently clears up the whole thing. And she feels 110% better. So, what has been happening? What has been going on? Arthur's plane gets stolen. Whatever happened to the counterfeit money that Horace was researching? All this kind of stuff. Well, it turns out that the husband of the Catwoman is actually a very horrible person, and he is the counterfeiter. And more than that, he actually goes out and hits dogs with his truck, and then goes and tells the pet owner that the dog's been hit. He doesn't know what happened, and he'll take the dog to his wife, and his wife will get the money for repairing the dog, fixing the broken leg or whatever. He has sprayed poison on the catnip that's growing wild out at the summer camp in order to get the cats sick. So the girls will have to take the cats to the Catwoman so that she can fix them. But little did we know that one of Miss Dimwittle's, I think her name's Dimwittle, one of her secret treats is catnip tea. So she drinks the poison too, but they do save her life when they make her barf. It's pretty funny. Arthur at 16 with his plane is flying up. Would you get in a plane with a 16-year-old who just got a license? No. But they're all like, well, I want to go flying. I want to go flying. Like, they're not the brightest of girls. Even Judy is like, oh, I want to be first. I want to be first. So they go flying in this plane. The counterfeiter commandeers the plane and takes off with it and everything like that. But the police arrive just in time, and Judy is the savior of the day, and Lorraine's scar the Catwoman has helped her with some lotions, and her scar is barely noticeable. So Lorraine is happy, but what about the ghosts on parade? What was happening with the masks? Why were we seeing them, go through the woods? Why were we seeing them looking in windows and everything like that, and crawling over rocks and all this kind of stuff? Well, that's because, sorry, I got something in my eye. That's because the boys' camp, which is a site over, has little boys. Like, they're 10 years old, 10 and 12 years old and everything like that. And they decided to sneak over to the girls' camp and scare them with the ghost masks. They put on the ghost mask and they scared them. And yep, that was pretty much it. So nostalgic. It reminded me of summer camp. Where they would go swimming and they would go on the canoes and everything like that. And then it was hot at night. And they would all eat breakfast in this communal room and everything like that. It wasn't, I thought the self-care for the violent illnesses was pretty interesting. I've never seen Sherry Ames take a feather at anyone to make anyone vomit, but maybe it's just in a book I haven't read yet. But I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Love me for some Judy Bolton. If you haven't read Judy Bolton, you really need to, because she's a very realistic character, and she's a great character in her own right. And she's very smart, and she's just lovable. She's just a lovable thing. So anyway, I am going to let you go. Give me a like, hit subscribe. If you're new here, so glad to see you. If you're one of my regulars that chat with me all the time, either way, leave me a comment. I love the comments. So leave me a comment, and I'll be doing another video today, as a matter of fact, and I'll be using my light. because I want to talk about, oh, Twitch, no, not at the end of my video. I want to talk about this book that I'm reading. Can we classify it as a vintage? It's a discussion point that we will need to discuss. Anyway, good morning, and I will check you later.